Listen, man, they won, they did it. Congratulations to the Gamecocks. First team ever in history to go undefeated and win the chip. First team ever in history to play at 5v8. They were playing the Iowa Hawk refs, the Iowa Ref Eyes. 5 players versus 8 today. There was 3 refs on the court and 5 Iowa players. They all come together as Hawk refs. And this is the first team in history. Dawn Staley doesn't really cry much, but she was crying at the end of the game because she's never had to coach 5v8. This was her first time. So she was overwhelmed with emotion this time, even though she's won other times, because this was so different for her. Shout out to Dawn Staley, you're the GOAT. Can I just say you're the GOAT? I just want to give a quick shout out to Iowa as well. Y'all killed it, clearly. Y'all killed it. Y'all are ballers. Y'all are ballers. I'm sorry. No one can take that from you. I know the announcers tried to like play y'all. They said Caitlin Clark and the others. They literally said the others in reference to Caitlin Clark's teammates, as if they weren't balling this whole tournament. They've been balling. So I thought that was crazy disrespectful. Just to refer to people who have really been out there day in and day out, showing up, clocking in and clocking out in the gym, showing up in those games when they're double, triple teaming Caitlin, when they're like, they basically had her locked in jail. You know what I mean? She couldn't get out on defense. And y'all stepping up and making those shots. Like, to call y'all the others is beyond me. I want to say shout out to all the Hawkeyes. I feel like that's supreme disrespect. I know they're trying to uplift Caitlin, but I think we should also just, you know, uplift her while giving her teammates credit too. That's just me. I know the Iowa community might get on me. They can't name 2 other Hawkeyes, much less. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna get mad at me, but the real Iowans will probably appreciate what I just said there. Now, a lot of the Iowa fans may be like, everyone's crying about the refereeing, it's not that bad. I mean, we got more clips. You know what I mean? Again, you know, solar eclipse is coming up. We have clips, you know. Everyone can see it. 2 retina, 2 cornea. We can see that push off. Yep, she's boxing out there, ladies and gentlemen. She's boxing. That's a push off. Get off me. And she got a 3 off that too. Woo-wee. If she had done that to Caitlin Clark, she would definitely have 3 FBI agents on her doorstep by morning.
That's all right.
So that's why I think a lot of people are like, whoa, this is weird. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that was a flop, but it wasn't though. They had arms locked. She locked her arms around her and then said, woo. Yep, that's a foul in any country. If I was watching this in 3D, she would have actually hit me through the screen. So that's definitely a foul. South Carolina fans might get mad at me for saying this, but if I'm Caitlin and they're not calling that, I'm not gonna lie, I'm doing the same thing. Much like I'm messing around with me, I might punch one of y'all. Am I wrong though? If the refs aren't calling this and I'm able to shove people off me all game to get 3s, I'm Jason Kelsey off the line, offensive lineman tackling y'all to get my 3. I'm sorry. So I don't even blame Caitlin. It's not Caitlin's fault. Please don't get mad at me, South Carolina fans. I'm lowering my shoulder on you. What? I get 1 elbow and I see that the refs aren't calling it? You know how the little fraternities be, wipe me down, wipe me down. What? I'm elbowing, wipe me down, wipe me down. Cardoso, wipe me down. Raven. Everybody get an elbow for free. I'm giving out free elbows, free 99. I'm just keeping it real. You know, it's up to the refs. Really, it's up to the refs to do better. Catch this stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to catch it. You have 2 retinas, you have 2 cornea, just like me. And you can't say they got burned by the solar eclipse because it hasn't even come yet. You know what I mean? So for the refs, I know you saw it. You know, I know you saw wipe me down, Cardoso, but I would have done the same thing. That's all I'm trying to tell you. I'm sorry. We have another one right here. She said, you have the right to remain silent. She was restraining her. That's a foul. You actually can't lock arms when you're doing that boxing out. I know a lot of the Iowa fans just started watching basketball probably like a couple weeks ago. So they don't know, you know, stuff like this, you know. But you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to be Einstein. You don't have to be Aristotle. Literally just look. Locked arms. She's holding her back. Like this is WWE. I said, okay, wait a minute. You're going to slam her? Like, is this a match? That's a foul, no call. So there's a lot of like no calls on certain sides and then a call on the other side that people were a little bit weird about, you know? I'll read some of the tweets, you know, that I saw today so far. Recently, mind you, this is just fans of the whole game in general. You know, this doesn't have to be, oh, I'm an Iowa fan or I'm a South Carolina fan. This is just people watching the game. He said, Caitlin Clark is great. Camilla is great. Iowa is great. South Carolina, great. Coaches are great. The game is great. Can we all stop hating on whoever we don't like for whatever reason and just enjoy basketball? And then someone replied and said, you didn't say the refs weren't great. And he said, I did not. Meaning, even people that aren't fans of either side are seeing the refs are just, it's obvious. Jewel Lloyd, WNBA legend, These fouls are crazy. Shannon Sharp. Okay, let's not make it obvious, officials. Natasha Cloud, and WNBA legend. I'm trying to refrain from tweeting about some of these calls. Like, people don't even want to tweet about it because the lifted truck community, the caw community, the bald eagle community will get on you. The drop shot fishing lure community will get on you. Diamond Shields, WNBA legend. The refs gotta stop, bro. This is getting ridiculous. Dejanay Carrington, WNBA legend. OMG, these fouls are unreal. The refs are fanned out. I mean, it's just like from all angles, everybody's saying this is just odd, you know? If Iowa's gonna beat South Carolina, let them beat them. You don't have to sit there and call everything to where now people are scared to even touch the player. Because again, we can do little clips out of the videos all we want to, but at the end of the day, if players are so scared to just even guard people regularly because they're getting a lopsided amount of calls on one side of the ball, on one side of the court, they're not going to guard them as efficiently. They're going to be scared to even play. They're going to be scared. They're going to play reserved. That also changes the outcome of the game. Is this rocket science? Did I lose somebody? I'm sorry, I just felt like 4 Iowa fans just fell off the bandwagon when I said that. Did I just lose you guys? This is simple. Follow me. This is simple. You know, now I'm not speaking to the rational Iowa fans. Y'all get me. I know y'all know. But I'm just speaking to the ones that are a little bit, they had, you know, while everyone else was in math class, reading class, they had Play-Doh class. You know, it was just them and the teacher making balls out of Play-Doh.
That's all right.
Credit to Dawn Staley. Credit to Raven Johnson. Can we clap it up for Raven Johnson? This was her revenge game. I really wanted you to go off on offense, sister. I really wanted that for you, but you definitely locked up Caitlin Clark. And when I say that, Caitlin still scored how many? Crazy. She is too good to be locked up. She scored 30, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists while being locked up. That speaks to how great she is. You're never going to stop Caitlin Clark. She's going to find a way to be impactful, period. Whether it's assists, whether it's from the 3, from the 2, layups, something, she's going to figure out a way. You can't stop that lady. That's my twin. You can't stop my twin. I already know. I grew up with her. You can frustrate her, and you were able to see in stretches of the game she was frustrated, you know what I mean? And that's the key to beating the Iowa team. You know, frustrate Caitlin Clark. You're not going to stop her, but frustrate her. And guess what? Raven was in her jaw. She was in her jaw. We were all in awe. Absolutely. And even though the refs were calling sniff fouls, what is a sniff foul, you may ask? A sniff foul is when you sniff in the direction of a player and you take oxygen from their bubble, thereby removing some of the oxygen from their breathing bubble. And the refs deem that harmful to the player because they have less oxygen, so they call it a foul. Lots of sniff fouls were called in this game, in the last game, and in the West Virginia game. Lots of sniff fouls. It's important when you recognize, okay, these refs are going to be on me. To make the game so convincing, you just can't out-ref me. The Iowa fans in the UConn game said, you know, you can't leave it up to one, which they're actually kind of right. Hate to say it. You can't leave it up to 1 point. You need to play better the whole game so that it can't be left up to one call, which is true. Paige said the same thing, even though I slightly disagree because the way you ref dictates the way people are able to play and the amount people are able to play. So that's not entirely true to me, but South Carolina did just that. They made it so convincing that even the ref eyes, no matter how much corn plucked from the cornfields of Iowa that they bribed them with, the Gamecocks were still able, triple able, to make the game convincing enough to where little calls you can't outdo the culture of the team. Dawn Staley has made it clear. The players have bought into the culture of the team and the system of the team. So you see it. You see the teamwork. You see how evenly distributed, how evenly distributed the stats are. Wow. Everybody shares the ball. Everybody. It's a lot of ball movement. Classy basketball, if you ask me. Classy. Professional basketball. They were hitting the 3 this year. Triple crazy. When you buy into that culture of the team, you can't out-ref that. You can't outshoot that. I don't care how many step-back 3s, backflip 3s that you shoot. You can't outdo the culture of winning that Dawn Staley has produced down there in South Carolina now. I know that the Iowa fans are raising their phones up out of the cornfields to get reception enough to comment on this video pissed at me, triple pissed at me, but understand that the Hawk refs did all they could. Yes, they tried for you. They tried for you. They couldn't do it. I know you're gonna comment at me from your lifted trucks. I know you're gonna comment at me with your camo beanie and Dickies on, even though it is 80 degrees outside. And you're going to yell at me in the comments and be really mad and say, stay mad, cry more, they robbed my queen, and things of that nature when you just learned what a jump ball is last week. That is okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because guess what? The game has been grown. These young women have put eyes on women's basketball that haven't been on there before. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Angel Reese. Without her, none of this would happen today because a lot of the casual fans think Caitlin just became this beast like just now. She's been doing this. She's been that girl. You understand? So this wave of like interest didn't just start with her this year. It's because there was a rivalry created between two teams and that girl was Angel Reese. She started all this. You know what I'm saying? Brick by brick. So shout out to her. These stands were packed. They've been breaking viewership records. I just want to give credit where credit's due. I put my hand up and say, Angel, shout outs to you. A lot of the Iowa fans again are tweeting from the cornfields right now. They're like, no, Caitlin started. Caitlin's the one that's drawing all these crowds. Caitlin. But again, Caitlin Clark has been that girl. She didn't just pop out of nowhere. She's been doing this. But the second Angel Reese did this, that became a viral moment, a storyline. Lots of people rallied around Caitlin Clark and was rooting for her to get revenge on Angel Reese. Lots of people rallied behind Angel Reese and said, wow, this attacking, making this person a villain isn't unfair. They rallied against her. That became a large storyline to where that was one of the most anticipated matchups of the entire season, right? Am I wrong? If it was just Caitlin Clark on her own, she would have been packing out stadiums. This is not her first year playing. Where were you guys? You guys were drop shot fishing. Y'all were on the lake. Drop shot fishing. You were triple ignoring your queen. Yeah. And then these brainiacs will turn around and be like, Caitlin Clark is the only reason people watch. But people don't watch the WNBA. I don't watch them. I'm not gonna watch them. And here's the crazier news. These same people that are like screaming from the rooftops that they'll never watch the WNBA and stuff like that. I know this is brand new to you guys, right? You guys just started watching basketball maybe a couple months ago.
That's all right.
The storylines actually continue to the WNBA. What? Yeah, no, like they have rivalries too. Oh my gosh. No, like they really like, it's almost crazier storylines in the WNBA because they're playing for years and years. It's not just like 3 years. I can't wait till y'all find out like these rivalries last for a decade. Oh my gosh, did y'all hear that? All of Iowa State jaw just dropped because they never realized that. They said, nobody's gonna watch the WNBA because this is women's sports. It's interesting. Wow. It's not just one player. It takes multiple players to create these storylines. If Angel Reese never did this, we'd never have this right now. So we got to give her flowers. Shout outs to you, Angel. Brick by brick, you built this. You built this. All hail Angel, bro. Sorry. Somebody had to say it. Storylines are good. It's not enough for it to be good basketball because the NCAA men's is great basketball. Ooh, they can dunk. Wow. But nobody cares. And that's evidenced by the women's viewership completely triple crushing the men's. Because mind you, right? You guys' excuse this whole time for like men's versus women's basketball, people don't watch because they don't dunk. Name me one person that's dunked in this tournament. You're still there trying to rifle through names while I can sit here and tell you right now, triple quickly, 0 people did. Right? And I want to say credit to you guys. I think you guys should be the next inventors. You guys should be the next Aristotle, Einstein. Y'all said, lower the rim. More people will watch if they can lower the rim. These games have been exceeding NBA Finals numbers, World Series numbers, most viewed ESPN events. And guess what? The rims weren't lowered. All you geniuses that suggested that, I just want to hand on heart say that was probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard from you. Let's give you a round. That was slow. Wow. You had 2 PEs, didn't you? When everyone else came in from PE and went to like reading comprehension and math, you stayed behind. It was you and coach playing volleyball by yourselves, right? Y'all were spiking the ball back and forth over the net, to each other. Y'all had 2 PEs in school, didn't you? Was your desk facing the back wall? Your desk was facing the back wall, huh? Respect to you, but that was one of the slowest takes because directly opposed to your belief. It's just storylines and that's it. And when you invest into women's sports, so a lot of these media outlets have been noticing the growth and the rise of interest in women's sports even before this Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark storyline happened. And so guess what they did? They started investing. Now we're getting a little more ads centered around women's sports. Now we're getting an actual weight room for these girlies. Now we're allowing them to use, this was the first year I believe they were allowed to say March Madness for the women's. They didn't even have March Madness branding. Wow. They actually cared for once, and subsequently people followed. It's the media. They completely control this stuff. I know for a lot of you guys that just blew your mind. I just shattered your brains. It's okay to say you were triple wrong. Everyone else was right. The girlies on Twitter were right. The WNBA players that's been saying this and y'all was laughing at them and kikiing, they were right. How many of you guys will apologize? How many of you will step out of your lifted F-150.
Let the Lord use you.
Apologize. Not many. Because it takes a real human to apologize.
Yes.
With that being said, I'm going to leave you guys. Congrats to South Carolina. You did this for the country, bro. It was everybody was rooting for y'all, man. And Iowa, y'all had a great run. And I would not hold your heads down. For those of you who was your last game, I'm sorry, that's tough. And for those of y'all that are going to get back in the lab next year, you got to pray to God. You recruit. Respect to both teams, man. Respect to both teams, all players on both sides. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments below. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to join the Splash Squad. I know I'm probably going to get crucified at these comments, but I mean, it's entertaining to me. So y'all can comment whatever you want. I don't care. Slaughter me in the comments, praise me in the comments, glaze me in the comments. I don't really care. But appreciate y'all for rocking with me during the tournament. I really do appreciate it. I'll talk to y'all later.